Hello everybody and welcome back to Stellaris, where you might be wondering, why do you have so much food? You had no food last episode. That is quite correct. We still have no food. What I've done here is I've ordered several of our fleets to move off to Ustir and to move off to Ostici, our other two shipyards. They are on their way over here and we've canceled their upgrade orders. Apparently this one still needs upgrade orders as well. Let's let that run to completion. I'm not sure what's up with that. These shouldn't need that. I restarted the game and that's a little odd. I'm not sure what's going on with those. But for now, these are going to fly over to their other locations because we need to upgrade faster here. That's what we need. It's very clear that the Igarian League is going to declare war on us, and we need to get a move on this. So we want to enlist our other shipyards at this moment. So we're on our way over, and that's fine for now. The only question is, how long will it be until they declare? It won't be long, I suspect. So that's what we're doing here. We're just trying to get all of our shipyards actually in use at this moment. We'll have some extra food by the time we get there, and that will of course be nice. But this up over here, I don't think this is a citadel. It is not. I'm not going to upgrade it. For now, that should be fine. This upgrade is going to take a while. We could think about building defense platforms here. That will cost food though, and we need all the food we can get our hands on. So for now, we're just going to continue to push through here. We'll be arriving in Ustir in about 20 days here. So that'll be fine. These fleets were completely idle here. All of our shipyards are currently working on getting this set of upgrades completed. So that will be absolutely fine. We'll just get all of our shipyards working on this. That's of vital importance right now. So just go ahead and go upgrade at the Ustir station. This fleet will be arriving out over here. That also means it'll be closer to here when they declare war. Not if, when. So that is going to be a good thing as well. So we'll have a fleet out over this direction. Now, we do still need to get some world upgrades going here. This is currently a photosynthesis world. Okay, we do need to get these going and get a specialization in here. I guess we can do this for now. That seems okay. We want to keep our biomass spent down, right? And we're working on the planetary root complex here, so there's not too much to be done at this moment. I do want to get these built in here for the moment, and we'll get some chloroplastic acclimators going. Let's see. This is set up as a photosynthesis world, but this should actually be a hunter world. So we'll get that set up there, and we should absolutely be building communal biomes here. So we'll get all of those going, and we'll also upgrade to the planetary root complex. So that will help us as well. We just need to be working on this military buildup. So these guys have arrived on station now. Excellent. And they are beginning to upgrade, but this is going to be a long process. Now, this fleet here, we definitely want to grab Admiral for. That'll be okay. And how are we doing on getting out over here? We're still about 80 days away from Ostici. Okay, we can certainly get here faster, but it's not as fast as we'd like. We'll put it that way. So if the Igarian League is preparing to declare war on us, I kind of want to preemptively make a few claims on them. So we know that we don't really care about this out over here. The Igarian League doesn't have friends, right? So this would just be the Igarian League. Now, they're currently overwhelming to us, not necessarily shocking. And we would be looking to make some claims, probably at least down to Kellendine. So I want to get this spent right now. So we can do like that. That'll spend down our influence, and we can build up more influence. This will be a defensive war, so we can always make more claims. That'll be fine. But Dakian up here, I do really want to get... Okay, these are not actually going to be building. I wanted to see if we could build any of that simultaneously. The answer is no. So that's fine for now. Want to check in on this? 23,604 food for reinforced fleet. But It's upgrade fleet. I was reading this wrong previously, wasn't I? I'm very dumb. Okay, that's fine. So we're going to head over to Ostici here. We're about 60 days away from arrival, and we're needing to retrofit our fleets, no doubt about that, and we need to build a lot more fleets. Now, look at how much food we're making now. 3K at this moment, and that is going to improve further. So here, I do want to put in some chloroplastic acclimators, some lithic bores, and some nutritious dells. This is another good location to make be a command bulb, so we'll get that going, and we're lacking some minerals at this moment. Okay. So we'll wait for that. That'll be fine. We're going to be arriving out over in Ostici shortly. But we knew that this was likely going to be a problem. That was never not going to be a problem, I think. So we need to head here. We need to get a command bulb going in. There we go. And we're going to need to build communal biomes here as well. We can only build one for the moment, but that will do for now. We're working on bringing up our naval capacity. That's one of our biggest goals right now. So these guys are arriving at Ostici, and we want them to upgrade. We're missing some of our minerals for that, but I don't actually care. It's fine. We'll have the minerals very soon. In fact, we could probably just buy in some minerals, and that'll be a good thing. So we've got this world here. This is absolutely a good mining world. I'm going to put in lithic bores here, and we may want to just designate this as a lithic world. So we can then build a bunch of hollow mountains here, like that. And then, from there, we can build our orchard forests, we can build our chloroplastic acclimators, and then this can continue to be command bulbs, which will be absolutely fine. Okay, so these guys are going to be arriving at Ostici Station and starting their upgrade now. So that looks good. We've now put all of our shipyards into use on this. How's our upgrade going up here? 11% completed? Okay. We're only 33% done here, by the way. So that's noted. These guys are still idle here, and that's fine. We're banking up some food, and we're banking up some alloys. Now, I do very much want to go to our crucible worlds, like this one, and get the planetary root nexus going here, because we're going to need more alloys. I think that's very, very clear. So we're going to get that going on whatever crucible worlds we have. Here we can put in some lithic bores, but we're, again, short on minerals for the moment. I'm not going to sell food. That's a terrible idea. But I will sell some energy credits, and we'll exchange those for a few minerals here, because we need to get these investments made. We need to do this nice and fast. Okay, what else do we have going on here? Well, we've got this crucible world. I'd love to get this going. We need to wait for a month tick. We're almost there. So there we go. Okay, so that is underway. We can also build our ore spine here, and we're lacking some minerals for our solar microlungs. That's okay. So we've got a lot of these constructions underway at this moment, and that seems good. We are going to want one level of photosynthesis field here. There's actually no hollow mountains available, which is kind of remarkable. And we just finished up a bunch of these world terraformations. I'd love to build Cradles of Rebirth. Do we think we can afford that? Yes. I'm going to get Cradles of Rebirth going here. I'm going to clear off these tile blockers. This is a lot of tile blockers, actually. We're going to need a few more energy credits, remarkably. There we go. And then here, there's no tile blockers. So we would love to get these going, but we do not have the capacity to do that just yet. We're lacking biomass. Remember, we don't need biomass for building these ships. So our biomass is fine to invest, but we do need food. A lot of food. So we're very, very focused on getting our ships up to date. We're up to 20% on this upgrade. This upgrade is at 7. So that's all very, very slow. No doubt about that. There's only so much upgrading we can actually do. And yeah, these are going to go away. These are here and here. So we're in Trin's Promise and Tuayama. Gotcha. So we want to go to the world in... Is it Dokkan? No. Well, here's one of them, anyway. We can build a Cradle of Rebirth here, and these do cost food, but it's only 360. I'm not terribly concerned about that. I would like to get more biomass flowing, but I'd like a period of peace, but the AI doesn't seem interested. So we're probably going to have to fight another war here, and that's, you know, very awkward for us. We'd really rather not. We would really rather not. We do have this minor artifact that we can not do anything with, so there's that. We also have astral threads, and we may want to consider running some astral threads here. We'll get that done. And folding hyperspace gives us astral jumps. I mean, that's very convenient. So we'll do that for the moment. Okay. So our upgrades are continuing, and every day that they give us is valuable. No doubt about that. We're building up our food supplies, we're building up our alloy supplies, and that seems good. Now, we're currently needing additional buildings here, and that's not shocking. So we can put in solar mycolungs here, or rather chloroplastic acclimators here. That would be fine. We can also put in an ore spine and a bloom loom, and that will be a good thing to do. This world over here, this is a pollinating world, and we can put in bone garrisons, which we are definitely interested in doing. We're going to need more biomass, and we're going to need more minerals for this. Okay, we're still lacking one more batch, so we're going to need one more month tick here to get these bone garrisons online. So that sounds fine. We will continue to work on this as long as the AI allows us to. We're banking up quite a lot of materials, so we're going to be able to pump some ships pretty quickly once we get these upgrades completed. But it's going to take a while. We're only 50% done at Plant Heart. This is 32%, so that's actually making good time. This is at 16. It feels like it's taking so long.
The weeds have been pruned.
But we are improving things, so that is helping-ish. Helping-ish. So is there a second world in Trin's Promise at this point? Yes, there is. There's this one up over here. So that's understood. I wanted to check if there were tile blockers here. There are not. Good to know. For right now, I think we need to not be working on additional biomass production. I think we absolutely have to work on additional food, additional crucible production, and additional naval capacity, because that's all going to be very, very necessary. So that's understood for the time being. I think another crucible world would be a very good thing to do. This is an okay world for that, actually. I'm going to put in an orchard forest and a hollowed mountain here, and we're going to put in molt guts. We're going to swap this over to being a crucible world, because I really, really feel like we need more alloy production. Maybe not a huge amount, but some. We'll put in solar mycolungs here, and that will be fine. And then we're interested in building additional communal biomes, but we need minerals for that, of course. We can always buy in additional minerals and get these going, which I want to do. Okay, now we'll wait for the month tick and get this last one going. I also see that upgrade, which I'm interested in getting going immediately. So we're going to do that, but I want this at the top of the queue. Okay, so that looks good. That's underway. Cool. Remember, every little bit of time that we get here is valuable. We're at 40% upgraded here. 53% upgraded here, 22% upgraded here.
New knowledge blooms.
Okay, we got a Federation level unlocked. We could certainly go for complex drone pop output. That seems good. And keep in mind, we're not the leader here. So that's understood. I wouldn't mind getting like these guys in here, but I don't think they're going to. So keep in mind, the Agarian League will have to fight us and the United Uvzant League. So it's not just going to be us. Alloy nanoplants finishing up. That's cool. Resources from Forge symbionts. Yes, please. So that seems good. We have buildings that we can put in here. This will be bone garrisons. We'll get those underway, but we're lacking minerals. We do have our lithic worlds that are being worked on. We can get a planetary root nexus here. Okay. I do want additional minerals to be flowing in here, but we do have additional lithic and additional lithic world on the way. So we'll get those going. We'll upgrade our lithic filters here. But again, we're lacking minerals. So I'm going to sell some energy credits here. We're going to also sell some volatile motes, some exotic gases, some rare crystals, and we're going to exchange all of that for a little bit of minerals. Like that. Because I really do want to get these upgrades going. And we're going to want additional communal biomes as well here. So we're needing biomass at this point. We can't buy biomass. We'll just have to let that come through. There we go. And the planetary root complex, which will move up to the top. Perfect. Okay, so that's all underway. I would like to have more things underway here, of course, but we are limited. There's only so much we can do. How are we doing on our upgrades? 49%, 59%, and 29%.
The weeds have been pruned.
Okay. We're still working on bringing our naval cap up, and we're stocking up a lot of resources right now. So this photosynthesis world over here, this is fine. I do think we want to make this also have command bulbs. So we'll get those going in. And we'll max out these communal biomes and get the planetary root nexus going. That will also be necessary. But our primary lack right now is minerals and biomass. That's all fine for the moment.
A call from the stars.
Okay, so I'm expecting them to declare war at any time. I'm actually shocked that they haven't yet. It's remarkable that they haven't declared war, honestly. I thought they would have by now. So at 62%, I guess it's because of the Federation, right? They're also building up their fleet power, which is currently overwhelming to us, but we have our Federation ally, and that should be reasonably fine. Now, I do want to have this construction ship go and start grabbing mining and research stations out over this way. So there's a few of these that we can grab, right? We can grab a mining station here. We can grab a few research stations around. That's all relatively fine. Out over this direction, there's definitely still things that we can grab. I'll just leave that be for the moment.
A path must be chosen.
Okay. Correctional bisection is no longer available. That's fine. So on Earthius 2, we're going to require some lithic boars and some nutritious dells. Let's get all of that production underway.
Old growth cleared for new life.
The United Uzant League has rivaled the Agarian League. They're our allies, so that's not terribly surprising. What else do we have here? Well, we've got this photosynthesis world. Honestly, I feel like our energy credits aren't that big of a problem, but this is a large world. So if we made this into a hunter world as well, we can get a command bulb going in here.
The wild expands.
Okay, the Ionides starbase and Dakan starbase finished their queues. So this is the Dakan starbase here. I would love to get more minerals going here. I just bought 2,000, and I'm going to put in a couple of defense platforms here. Actually, before we do that, I want to put in, instead, a defense grid supercomputer. There we go. So we'll get that going, and we'll do the same thing over here. So that's going to take a year each. Understood. This war is going to happen at any time now, surely. This is 65%, but this is actually starting. Interesting. Very, very interesting. So I want to check in on this fleet here. 60%. Cool. Terraformation finished on Hythus. Understood. For now, we don't have the resources to develop that. Our resources have to be elsewhere. So that's all good for the moment. This construction ship is not doing anything, and there's all this trade out here that I would like to grab, but we just can't devote the resources to it right now. We just can't. Let's head over this direction and build a research station down here. Okay. So I do want to get some of these specializations done, but we also really do need to get these smelting pools online here. So we'll get those online, and I'd love to build more districts on here, but they're already all queued up. So that seems fine. This Hunter world, we're going to build a planetary root nexus on, and we can get some solar mica lungs going in here. I'd love to get an ore spine and a bloom loom in here, but for the time being, this is what it is. We'll just have to wait a moment. So there's a bloom loom, and we're lacking a little bit for our ore spine as well. Okay, so there's bioplasma cannons finishing. We're 2 months away from our Titans at this moment. I don't know how many Titans we're going to be able to have. Hopefully it'll be 4, but I kind of doubt it. So for now, we can start cleaning up some of this stuff down through here, like the ion molecular disruptor. That'll be okay. But I did want to check to see if we wanted to replace any of our plasma accelerators. Ah, yes, this is a straight up upgrade. So we're going to want to get those in there, and we can't do that while these are upgrading. So I'm going to stop the upgrades that are in right now. And we're going to have to reissue these upgrade orders, but that's okay. So that's fine. These upgrades should not take very long to do. So we're going to get that going for our maulers. For our weavers, we're going to upgrade these to bioplasma cannons, like so. Our harbingers shouldn't need anything, and our stingers shouldn't need anything either for right now. Defense platforms are automatically upgraded. Okay, so now we're going to have these upgrade again. I noticed that our food was maxed there. That's a little unfortunate. Okay, so we'll get all of this going once more. Cool. So that's underway. Our shipyards are all very busy, and that will take a little bit of time. But it should go fairly quickly for just the bioplasma upgrades. It's the other upgrades that were expensive, and that's understood. So we've got a lot of food on hand, but we're going to need that food. So we need chlorplastic acclimators here, and there's the declaration of war. Okay. So in that case, we will stop these upgrades. I'm going to hit the reinforce fleet button here and here. And that's all of our minerals gone. So we're going to need to sell off a few exotic gases. I'm going to sell some dark matter. I'm going to sell some rare crystals. And we're going to put those resources into additional minerals. We need all the minerals we can get our hands on right now. These guys, they're going to stop upgrading, and they're going to instead reinforce. So Ustir, out over this direction, they're going to do the same. They're going to stop upgrading, and they're going to instead reinforce. Now, I'm thinking here, the interstellar Favarian conglomerate is in this, which surprises me. Actually, why are they in this? That's interesting. But it shouldn't be that big of a deal, in theory. So we need to set our war goal, and that's going to be to conquer claim. Perfect. We are not going to allow them to do whatever they want to do, right? So honestly, the Uvzant League is probably going to have their... They're probably going to have their hands full with the interstellar Favarian conglomerate. I want this fleet to make its way out over to Norgon. It's going to take it a while to get there, but I did not anticipate us having anything out over here. So that's noted. We could make claims out over this direction. This is currently claimed by the Uvzant League, so we don't actually care about that. That can go to them. That can be fine. We've got this out over here that we would very much like to get our hands on, so there's that. I'm going to have these two fleets head to Dawkan. Now, this is currently locked by the Agarian League. So that's, awkward. That's been the case for this whole time. We failed to follow the instructions led by the Timeless Ones, and it's not our fault. We're in a defensive war. They unilaterally declared war on us. We're trying here. So we will see what happens with that. But up in Ionides, these guys need to move up and defend here. So that's fine. We need to reinforce this fleet as well, but we're going to be pumping ships out of these shipyards for a little bit here. No doubt about that. Question is, how much do we have queued up here? Well, it's definitely not all of them, but it's enough for now. So we're going to need to continue to work on upgrading our worlds during this war. That's going to end up being necessary. Very, very, very necessary, in fact. We're going to need command bulbs here. But this is not going to be particularly powerful. This is mostly a pollinating world. So we'll get a couple of those going, and that'll be fine. And we can also upgrade this once we have enough food. But food is going to be a lack for us for a while. So we'll have to come up with a strategy on how we're going to handle this. We need to get this wrapped up. We need to get this wrapped up nice and quick so that we can focus on basically the front being here, here, and here, right? So that will all be a thing. I'd hoped that we would have a little more time, but we did not, and that's not surprising, ultimately. You can leave your offerings to the engagement gods in the form of likes, comments, subscribes, and bell ringings, and a very special thank you to all of the channel members for making this video possible, including ALS Gamer, Dark Horse, Ethan Feldman, Upper Cumberland Gamers, Nick Smarty, Punching the Microphone, The Lounge, STL, Spock, and all the rest. And of course, you. Thank you for watching. If you'd like to support the channel, you can click the join button down below the video, and as always, I will see you all next time.